All right, I'm going to do a quick overview of our school Case 21 data so that you're aware of how our school is performing currently with what the students just did with Case 21. So Case 21 is the quarterly assessment that our second through fifth graders take once a quarter. It measures them in math, reading, and science in fifth grade. For math, it goes off of the standards that they were taught during that quarter. And for reading, it covers all of the reading standards. And so it's cumulative. They will take the math quarterly at the end of the year that is cumulative of all standards. And so it's a good snapshot of us to see kind of how kids would do if this was the EOG, and helps us to know how to drive instruction in those classrooms. So if you're looking at this is our second grade data for Case 21. So we have class 1, class 2, class 3, how we performed as a school, and then how we performed as a district, okay? And so the district, so it takes all three elementary schools and accumulates their score, was a 42 average of 42.8. For South, it was 33.3. You really want to be above the district average, or at least right there at it. And so that's an area that we can work and grow in. This is reading data. Okay, so this is how our students are performing on their reading standards in second grade. This is second grade math data. So you see class 1, 2, 3, how we performed as a school, and how the district performed. So this looked at all of the second grade math standards from the first quarter, and that was how our students performed. This is third grade reading data. The blue is how the students performed on the BOG. The red is how the students performed on the first Case 21 for reading in third grade. This is how we performed as a school, 34.6. This is where we performed as a district, 47.4. This is third grade math data. So you have class 1, 2, 3, 4. South Newton was at 30.2% projected percent proficient as a grade level. The district was at 51. This is fourth grade reading data for the first quarter. So this is all of the standards that they tested on. Class A, 44.4. Class B, 34.6. As a school, we were 38.9. As a district, they were at 50% projected to be proficient. This is fourth grade math. Class A, 50% projected proficient. Class B, 46.2% projected proficiency. As a school, we were 47.3 projected, and as a district, 52. So these are really close, which is good. We want to kind of be, where the district is, if not above it. This is fifth grade reading data for the first quarter, 47.4 for Class A, 63.2 for Class B. As a school, we were at 55. As a district, we were at 59. And then this is our fifth grade math data. So we had Class A at 10% projected proficiency, Class B at 30% projected proficiency. As a school, we were at 21.4 projected proficiency, and as a district, we were at 50% projected proficiency. And then this is fifth grade science. Class A, 57.9 projected proficiency. Class B, 52.9 projected proficiency. As a school, we were at 57.9. The district was at 74.4% projected proficiency. So what does this mean for our TSI kids? Well, TSI looks at how students in third through fifth grade perform on their end of grade assessments, and our two subgroups that need to perform at a higher rate than what they have been are African American students and students with disabilities. That does include students that are EC and receive speech services. If a student is African American and has a disability, then they qualify as being both of those categories. So they double dip. And so when you're thinking about this, you really want to look at, we're going to look at each quarter, are we making the growth that we need in? Based off this data, how did those students perform? And of course, we always want growth for all. We want all of our kids to be proficient. And so really just looking at this data and making sure that we're using it in order to drive our students' learning. And so if you have any other questions about Case 21 or how we get our TSI data as a school, just let me know. That's a quick overview of how our school performed. Oh, I do want to go over really quick. I'm so sorry. This is where our students are at for iStation right now of November, because I do think it's important we go back and look at everybody. So I'm only going to look at reading because you guys know for math it is a projected of where they would perform in those standards, right? It's almost like a pre-assessment. Okay, those of you that don't know, it's almost like a pre-assessment of where they might would be. So for reading, this is where our students currently are in reading skills. iStation is based off skills, not standards. Okay, so this is where we're at for kindergarten. You have levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Level 1 and 2, those students are performing below grade level. Level 3, those students have potential of performing on grade level, but there's some discrepancies. There's some things that they need to work on, almost what you would consider like a bubble kid. They kind of can teeter back and forth. We're definitely not going to say, oh, they got it, they're good. Those are kids that we need to be watching, that are on our radar. And then 4 and 5, they're performing on or above grade level. Okay, so if you look at this, obviously we want, if you're just looking at colors, we want our red to be the least amount. We want our this orange or green color right here to be, I guess that's like a yellowish green color, to be lower. We want the 3s, 4s, and 5s to be the highest that they can be. So that's just, if you're a visual person, that's how you can kind of look at this. This is where our kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade students are performing as of right now in iStation. Just hover over that so you guys can see. We can go more in depth with what specific skills are struggling in, but that's just a quick overview of where we are at as a school with our current iStation data for November.